is the last module of this course, the Module 9, Research and Corporate Social Responsibility Communication. And this is April Rosie Nalangan again, a Tax and Sustainability student. And today I'll be discussing the part 1 of this module, the types of research and CSR communication. For this week, this discussion has only one objective, and this is to explore different types of research used in studying CSR communication. As research is the process of knowing the unknown, we will explore how scholars approach CSR communication through 3 distinct research lenses coming from different studies. So first, there is the type of institutional and reputational research coming from the study of Nikolaeva and Bicho in 2011, the role of institutional and reputational factors in the voluntary adoption of CSR reporting standard. Second, the type of consumer awareness and perception research coming from the study of Pomering and Dolnicar in 2009, entitled Assessing the Prerequisite of Successful CSR Implementation. Are consumers aware of CSR initiatives? And lastly, the moral and ethical discourse research coming from the study of Reynolds and Youthas in 2008, entitled Moral Discourse in Corporate Social Responsibility Reporting. Start with the institutional and reputational dimension of CSR reporting. The core purpose here is to identify what drives organizations to adopt CSR frameworks, like the GRI. Is it genuine commitment, institutional pressure, or just reputational management? This research takes a corporate-centered communication view, treating CSR not just as ethical reporting but as a strategic response to institutional expectations and a tool for reputation signaling. So the theoretical foundation draws on institutional theory and reputation management, particularly coming from the study of DiMaggio and Powell's work on how organizations mimic peers to gain legitimacy. So the findings are clear: competitive, media, and stakeholder pressure strongly influence CSR adoption. So most companies embrace CSR frameworks more for legitimacy, to look responsible, rather than for transparent accountability. So this reporting often follows mimetic institutional behavior, meaning firms copy what's seen as best practice in their industry. So what are the implications? CSR communication is fundamentally legitimacy work. To be credible, it must align with authentic corporate values, not just compliance optics. So done right, reporting becomes the bridge connecting marketing, reputation, and sustainability, integrating how a company performs, communicates, and earns trust. Let's look at consumer awareness and perception angle. The core research question here asks, are consumers even aware of CSR initiatives, and if so, do they trust and engage with them? The study applies an audience-centered communication lens, positioning CSR as a message framing and trust building. It draws from consumer behavior and information processing theories to analyze how messages are received and interpreted. So the findings here are concerning but insightful. Public awareness of CSR is very low. About 2/3 of consumers can't recall their bank CSR programs. Many are also skeptical of CSR ads but place more trust in independent or earned media. So this means that CSR messaging often fails without proper contextual education and transparency. The implication point to a strategic reset: there should be awareness as a prerequisite of CSR effectiveness. People can support what they don't understand. Another one, communication must evolve from corporate promotion to stakeholder education and dialogue. And for credibility, companies must use trusted third-party communication channels to then enhance authenticity and trust. Now, shifting to the moral and ethical discourse perspective, this research asks a deeper question. Do CSR reporting frameworks actually enable ethical dialogic communication, or are they still one-way corporate disclosures? So the focus here is on ethics-centered communication, viewing CSR as a moral discourse rooted in truth, sincerity, transparency, participation, and power neutrality. So the work is anchored in Habermas' theory of communicative action and discourse ethics, emphasizing moral dialogue over strategic signaling. Findings reveal that while CSR frameworks meet some standards of communicative validity like truth and clarity, they fail to promote genuine stakeholder equality or engagement. Communication remains top-down, not participatory. To evolve, CSR must move beyond disclosure and toward dialogic moral engagement. So the implications are powerful. CSR should foster two-way moral dialogue, not one-way reporting. Second, ethical CSR communication requires inclusive stakeholder engagement through transparency. And lastly, practitioners must embed dialogic and moral ethics directly into their CSR strategy, not as add-ons, but as the foundation for credibility and trust. To conclude, these 3 research perspectives illustrate how CSR communication has evolved over time. The institutional perspective teaches us that CSR reporting began as a way for organizations to demonstrate legitimacy and meet institutional expectation. It was about strategic conformity, showing that companies belong in a socially cautious world. Next, the consumer perspective shifts the focus to the audience. Pomering and Dolnicar reminded us that CSR communication only works if people are actually aware of it. So communication must go beyond slogans. It must educate, inform, and build trust. And lastly, the ethical or dialogue perspective. It transforms CSR into moral discourse. Reynolds and Youth has shown that CSR communication is most meaningful when it becomes a two-way conversation where stakeholders are heard, respected, and engaged. So together, these studies reflect a maturity curve in CSR communication, from reporting for legitimacy to informing for understanding and to engaging for ethical collaboration. So as communicators, our task is to help organizations move along this continuum, turning CSR from a marketing tactic into a genuine social dialogues that create trust, accountability, and of course, long-term sustainable impact. So that would be all, everyone. Please check out the below questions for a more productive discussion about the types of research in CSR communication. Thank you, everyone, and maayong adlaw sa inyo tanan.